Great Aunt Pat reads Geronimo Stilton, Paws off, Cheddarface. A whacking in the morning. It all started one morning. I was on my way to the office when I was stopped by an elderly female rodent. No, she didn't stop me to ask the time or to get my autograph. Oh, did I tell you? I am a best-selling author and I run a newspaper called the Rodents Gazette. Maybe you've heard of me. My name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. Anyway, as I was saying, this mouse was not a fan. She was the exact opposite. One minute, she was staring me in the snout, and the next, she pulled out her umbrella. Then she whacked me over the head. I was in shock. "What was that for?" I squeaked. The mouse just stamped her paw. "Young mouse, you have some nerve. Have you forgotten about the bus stop?" she shrieked. I shook my head. I had no idea what this mouse was talking about. "You stepped on my paw on Monday morning," she insisted. "And you didn't even bother to apologize. How rude." Without another word, she stalked off in a huff. I didn't know what to make of it. I had never seen that mouse before in my life. Unbelievable. Trouble at the Nibbler. I headed towards the subway. At the station, I ran into a friend of mine. His name is Benny Blue Whiskers, but most rodents call him the Big Cheese. That's because he knows everything there is to know about cheese: color, size, shape, texture. He even invented Mouse Island's famous cheese measurer. And his nose is the most famous sniffer on all of Mouse Island. He can smell a cheese Danish baking a mile away. What a schnauz. What a gift. As soon as he saw me, Benny frowned. "Some friend you are, Geronimo," he cried. "How could you do that to me last night?" I looked at him confused. "Last night?" I repeated. What had I done last night? Oh, yes, I had spent the evening watching television. I'm not usually a real TV mouse, but sometimes I like tales of rodents past. Last night, I saw this episode about cave mice. It was fascinating. I started to tell Benny about the show, but he didn't seem interested. "Nice try, Geronimo," he snorted. "But you weren't watching TV last night. You were making fun of me down at the Nibbler." Now I was really confused. The Nibbler is a popular diner in town. Sometimes we mice go there for coffee and to shoot the cheese, but I hadn't been there in months. "I know I'm not the thinnest rodent in town, but you didn't have to call me a furry whale with a tail," Benny shrieked. "You really hurt my feelings, Geronimo. After all these years, I thought we were friends." I looked at him in shock. Cheese niblets. "But I wasn't at the Nibbler last night," I tried to explain. That seemed to make Benny even madder. "So, now you're calling me a liar," he squeaked. "Well, that's it. No more free cheese for you. And you can forget my holiday cheddar log this year, too." I didn't know what to say. My head was spinning faster than the cyclone at Moseyland Amusement Park. Unbelievable. "Tell us all, you rascal." I stumbled into my office, still in a daze. What was going on? Was I losing my mind? Why was everyone picking on me? Right then, the phone rang. "Hello?" "Stilton speaking. Geronimo Stilton," I answered. It was Simon Squealer. He was the most famous radio host in New Mouse City. His show was all gossip. I hated that stuff. I mean, who cares about these silly scandals and rumors? I would much rather read a good book than listen to that trash. So I wondered why Simon was calling me. Today we are speaking to Geronimo Stilton, best-selling author and publisher of the popular newspaper, the Rodent Gazette, the host began babbling. Yes, you're on the air, Stilton. He finished. I gulped. Me? On the radio? Did you say on the air? I stammered. Simon just chuckled. What a pulp puller. You're the one who set up this interview, he laughed. Remember, you called me on Friday. You said you had some juicy gossip you wanted to tell the public, some big secret about yourself. Well, go ahead. My listeners are waiting. What is it? I chewed my whiskers. This was crazy. I never called Simon Squealer. I didn't even have any juicy secrets to reveal to the public. I really don't have anything to say, I mumbled. But Squealer wouldn't let me go. Don't be shy, you rascal, he insisted. Come on, tell us everything. Every shocking detail. I didn't know what to do. Should I make up gossip? Should I come up with some terrible scandal? Nothing juicy ever happens to me. My sister, Thea, well, always telling me I'm as boring as a slice of plain American at a Gouda cheese shop. No, I couldn't make up a story, but I had to do something. Quickly, I grabbed a handkerchief from my pocket and I pulled it over the phone. Then I pretended there was static over the line. Sorry, I think we have a bad connection, I lied. Then I hung up. My sister may think I lead a boring life, but today was not one bit boring. It was getting wackier by the minute. First, an old mouse clocks me over the head with her umbrella. Then an old friend chews me out, and now this. I didn't know what to make of it. It was unbelievable. Chocolate cheese bites. The phone rang again. I was afraid to pick it up, but the ringing wouldn't stop. It was giving me a mouse-sized headache. At last, I gave in. Hello, Stilton speaking. Geronimo Stilton, I squeaked. A snooty voice came over the line. Yes, this is Samuel Stuffy Mouse from Sweet Selects. Your chocolate cheese bites are ready. Do you want them gift wrapped or will you be eating them today? Chocolate cheese bites? I hadn't ordered any chocolate. I mean, I love chocolate and cheese as much as the next mouse, but I was on a diet. I had started it last week. So far, I had only cheated once. My Aunt Sweetfur had sent me a pineapple cheesecake. How could I resist? I love cheesecake. Now, I stared at the phone. I'm sorry, I told the mouse on the other end. You must have the wrong rodent. I didn't order any chocolates. Stuffy Mouse snorted. I am a very busy mouse, Mr. Stilton, he huffed. I don't have time for games. Of course you ordered them. You were in Sweet Selects just yesterday. Now, do you want this chocolate gift wrapped or not? I didn't know what to say. Why wouldn't anyone listen to me today? But I've never even heard of Sweet Selects, I tried to explain. For some reason, this made Stuffy Mouse even more annoyed. He began squeaking at the top of his lungs. It seemed his store sold special gourmet chocolates. Each chocolate cheese bite was made by Paws. Some were even shaped like things. There were tiny mice, tiny cats, and even tiny trains. You ordered 5 pounds of our tiny tugboats, he shrieked in my ear. I felt faint. I don't even like boats. They make me queasy. Unbelievable, but Stuffy Mouse wasn't taking no for an answer. My delivery rat is on the way, he snarled. Please have your money ready. Seconds later, I heard a loud honking outside. I peeked out the window. I should have guessed it was the Sweet Selects truck. A mouse dressed in a tuxedo carrying a large box jumped out. My bookkeeper, Ratsy O'Shea, led him into my office. She handed me my checkbook. What could I do? I had to pay for the chocolates. Old Stuffy Mouse would have had my tail if I refused. Besides, how expensive could a box of chocolates be? Then I saw the bill. I began crying like a rat who's found his Christmas stocking filled with coal instead of cheese. Are you okay, Mr. Stilton? Ratsy asked. I coughed. I pulled myself together. I couldn't let Ratsy see me like this. After all, I am a professional mouse. I picked up the bill and wiped my eyes. I had never seen so many zeros in my life. I'm fine, Ratsy. I'm just fine. Down the toilet. I decided I needed to get some air. I left the office. I bought a magazine at the newsstand. It was one of those mouse hole improvement guides. And that's when I saw it. It was an ad for a toilet called the Flusher Rat. But it wasn't the toilet that caught my eye. It was the rodent standing next to the toilet. It was me. That's right, yours truly, Geronimo Stilton in the Fear. In the picture, I was pointing to the toilet and grinning like I'd just won the mouse lotto. My heart began beating wildly. What was going on? What was my picture doing in the magazine? I looked closely to the ad. My name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton, it said. I am a sophisticated rodent. I want the best for my mouse hole. That's why I have a Flusher Rat. There is no other toilet like it. In fact, I've had some of the best ideas for my books right here on the Flusher Rat. I cringed. Even my whiskers were blushing. How embarrassing. I sat down on the curb to think. Just then, a truck rolled by. I glanced up. Plastered to the side of the truck was a huge color poster. I squeaked. It was another picture of me and the Flusher Rat. There were posters of me and the rotten toilet stuck up all over the city. Flusher Rat for the sophisticated mouse, the posters read. I couldn't believe it. I was famous for going to the bathroom. I was so upset. I felt used. I felt cheated. My life was going straight down the toilet. A thick-headed fur brain. I headed home. I had to find out what was going on. A crowd of rodents was waiting in front of my mouse hole. There he is! That's him! I heard them shout. Oh no, they must have seen the posters of me and the Flusher Rat. Maybe they wanted to ask me about toilet paper. A reporter stuck a microphone under my snout. Mr. Stilton, I'm calling Cheddarmouse from Mouse TV. Do you really believe that watching TV is better than reading a book? He asked. Cheese niblets, I squeaked. That's ridiculous. Why would I, Geronimo Stilton, say such a thing? I'm the publisher of the Rodents Gazette, the most popular paper in New Mouse City. I'm a best-selling author. Only an ignorant, illiterate, incompetent, educated, thick-headed fur brain would say something so foolish. But before I could go on, the reporter waved a newspaper under my snout. Then how do you explain this? He challenged. I gasped. The front page showed a picture of me holding a remote control in one paw. In the other paw, I held a garbage can. It was filled with books. Stilton says books are for babies. Television is our friend, the headline read. Just then, the phone rang. I picked it up. I shouldn't have. The rodent on the other end gave me some horrible news. I was being kicked out of the press club. No respectable newspaper mouse would throw books away. But I didn't do it, I protested. Still, it was too late. I was listening to the dial tone. The press club had hung up on me and my membership.